the continuous lack of respect for the Indianapolis Colts, which is the first topic of today's show, because they did beat a team they should have crushed, which they did in the Tennessee Titans. But again, I'm saying, well, they're not beating good teams, and you can't be trusted, and if you put them up against the Buffalo Bills or any of these other really great teams, how will they fare? Well, currently, the way I see in the eye test, I've watched every single Indianapolis Colts game this season, and I am thoroughly impressed, and I continuously be impressed by the level of performance that Daniel Jones, as well as Jonathan Taylor, and overall this offense, the level of just pure effectiveness and efficiency that they bring every single week. And this week was no different. Jonathan Taylor, another tremendous game. He had 153 rushing yards, along with three total touchdowns, which was obviously impressive. He has basically 100 more rushing yards than the next highest running back, which I believe is James Cook. Daniel Jones has been incredible this season. He deserves shorter odds in the MVP than he does, but I can understand why. Saying Daniel Jones MVP, it doesn't exactly sound right, but based on his performance alone, you have to put him there. And I do think there'll be opportunities for the Indianapolis Colts to prove why they deserve at least a higher Super Bowl odds, and Daniel Jones needs a better case for MVP. But in this game, it was absolutely incredible. And so far this season, I mean, it's the redemption story of the year, the Daniel Jones one is. But ultimately, this game was insane because this offense now has become literally unstoppable. I mean, you look at some of the still shots in the All-22. I mean, the offensive line is Moses, essentially, parting the running lanes wider than the Red Sea. I mean, Jonathan Taylor has, light years of room to run. 850 rushing yards, over 1,000 yards from scrimmage. He has 14 total touchdowns. I mean, Jonathan Taylor is a top-tier running back, obviously. He had a bit of a down year since the crazy years. He's had, some ebbs and flows, but I think he's fully back. I mean, Tyler Warren, we were praising Brock Bowers on his dominant rookie performance last year. I think right now, Tyler Warren, effectiveness-wise, he's actually outplaying him. And also, I might add, that this offense operates with incredible efficiency. The number one in yards per play. Jonathan Taylor, and this is what helps that out. Jonathan Taylor is he has the most rushing yards per attempt on first down amongst starting running backs, and then followed up with Daniel Jones has the best passer rating on third down, as well as most yards per play on third down passing. So this offense just keeps the sticks moving. They don't stop. I mean, they literally, since the stat has been recorded, it started getting recorded in 1998, drives ending in a score. The Colts right now at a little over 60%. That margin is the biggest. I mean, what they're doing, they also have the most points per drive in NFL history. More than the 2018 Chiefs, or more than the 2010, 2016, 2007 Patriots. More than the greatest show on turf. You name it. They have the most points per drive in NFL history currently. So, I mean, this team, is absolutely incredible. Daniel Jones looked really bad on the Giants, and I pointed it out. That was my whole thing for months and months and years on how bad Daniel Jones looked. But then you go to a system that's a little bit more competent. You go over to a Shane Steichen offense, and we saw what Shane Steichen did with Justin Herbert and Jalen Hurts. I never really thought he was the problem. He had a quarterback that couldn't complete passes at a very high level, under 50%. Meanwhile, Daniel Jones has been absolutely instrumental for this offense and working at it at an incredibly high rate. Even when he's pressured, which this offensive line deserves a lot of the MVP praise as well. Obviously, you can't give an MVP award to an entire offensive line, but they're a large part of why Daniel Jones and ultimately this offense has been incredibly successful. But even when Daniel Jones gets pressured, he has a QBR, scale of 0 to 100, of 91.8, highest ever since the QBR became a stat back in 2006. And currently is also number one in passer rating while under pressure. I mean, what he has done, nobody saw this coming. I mean, was I high on him when he came over to the Colts and said, well, this kind of looks like the 2022 roster where you have an okay offensive line? In the case of this year, the Colts offensive line has been absolutely insane. But a lot of similarities between the Giants team that won a playoff game and then this team with the Colts. A very good running game, Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, a good enough offensive line, Colts, Giants, a defense that is opportunistic and is pretty good. 2022 Giants wasn't too bad, and this year's Colts team, I hate the passing defense ultimately, but right now they're 6th in scoring defense. They're a top 10 rushing defense team. They are 29th against the pass, which again, I don't love, and 24th in total defense. So maybe in the trade deadline, go out and get another pass rusher or get a defensive back. But there are a lot of similarities here. And here's the big one. I just think that this is a perfect fit. I think Daniel Jones, and definitely Daniel Jones, and maybe some Mac Jones, maybe not on the same level, but Daniel Jones will get a massive long-term deal with the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, this just works. He fits here beautifully. And really, I talked about this, several weeks ago, about a month and a half ago. This team should be undefeated because there was no reason why A.D. Mitchell had to fumble the ball out of the back of the end zone and also have a bad holding call on a 53-yard rushing touchdown by Jonathan Taylor. They should have beaten the Rams. And actually, that is the lowest EPA, expected points on offense this season, but they still should have won. They should be 8-0. And we have these pundits on these sports shows saying, well, they go up against the Chiefs, and when they go up against the Bills, I don't exactly trust them. Why? Why? Mahomes will be sitting on the sidelines. If I'm Shane Steichen and I go up against the Chiefs, which they do in Week 12 coming off a bye, I'm looking at it and saying, and by the way, in Arrowhead, if I win the toss, I'm taking the ball because I want to start off, on top. I want to start up 7-0. And by the way, their points per drive is over 3. So, based on the average, you're getting at least a field goal. You're taking the lead. It's not going to be 0-0. So if I'm Shane Steichen, I'm taking the ball. And I'm just having Mahomes sit on the sideline and kind of do what the Texans did against the 49ers where they take off 9 minutes off the clock. So Mahomes is sitting there and, they have one drive and ultimately end of the first quarter. Keep the ball moving, keep the chains moving. And I just think ultimately that's what's going to propel this Colts team to be a legitimate threat because they should be. You look at the defense and the passing defense is bad and whatnot, but they are 5th in takeaways, which is incredible. But this offense is the reason why this team is going to go far. I think that there is a shot, a legitimate shot, that they will win at least one playoff game, and I could really say that we could see the Colts in the AFC Championship game. Because right now, they haven't really been stopped at all. They have, 3 30-plus point games? They have 2 40-plus point games? This offense is electric. Absolutely electric. And then you go up against the Chargers and you blow them out of the water. You had a little bit of a weird circumstance with Jacoby Brissett where he could have won but didn't. But here's what I find very fascinating. It's like, well, you won on a game-winning field goal against the Denver Broncos. That's only because, to me, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you did it in Week 2, but what if it was the AFC Championship game and that's when you did it? Well, a win's a win, in my opinion. You still won. You had over 473 total yards. I mean, that matters to me. I don't know I don't really care how you win. You won. So if that is circumstantial. You had to win on a game-winning field goal after a penalty. I mean, to me, it doesn't matter. You still won. I don't care if it's Week 2. I don't care if it's the Super Bowl. A win's a win in my book. And Daniel Jones has been incredible. Michael Pittman's on pace for 13 touchdowns. I've always said this. My favorite player coming out of that draft. Lammon's had a pick, 4 tackles. He also had a pass breakup. Bortolini had 0 sacks on 33 pass block snaps. Nick Cross, he has been incredible so far this season. I mean, ultimately, this Colts team, will it have hiccups? Will it have bumps? Yes. But in reality, you go down the schedule at Steelers. Their pass defense is really struggling as of late. You go the Atlanta Falcons, who just couldn't do anything this prior week. At KC is really, I'm looking at it, the only real challenge they have all season. The Texans, the Jaguars, the Seahawks, the Niners, the Jaguars, the Texans. I mean, you take a look at it. How many bumps and bruises will this Colts team have? And obviously, that's a double-edged sword because you could be like, well, they're not battle-tested for the playoffs when they play the Buffalo Bills or when they play the Patriots or whoever they will play in the playoffs. I look at it this way. You keep riding high, you keep dominating, you keep put up 30-plus point games and 40-plus point games, teams will fear you. And again, it's with Daniel Jones at starting quarterback. I think that's what's crazy about it. Daniel Jones has been, and I did this on my top 10 list, he has been at least the 5th best quarterback. And I think really, with Dak having such a dud, that drops, Daniel Jones may move into the top 3. Now, obviously, once Lamar gets, situated, coming back from injury, he would make the list, and I don't think he deserves to be on any list recently, just because he's been banged up for so long. But I think ultimately, you take a look at it, why isn't nobody has made a decent argument on why Daniel Jones shouldn't be at least a top 5 quarterback. I could argue top 3. Way back when, after week 2 or 3, I said he's the second best quarterback in the NFL, maybe number 1. And people were like, well, Daniel Jones, blah. To me, it didn't matter. I mean, just look at the data, look at the facts. There's no statistical proof or even on the eye test on why Daniel Jones isn't a top-tier quarterback in the NFL right now. There's nothing. You could be, well, strength of schedule. Drake May has had the easiest schedule in the NFL. He's an MVP candidate. He's been playing out of his mind, and we give him the respect for that. And I think we need to do that as well when it comes to the Indianapolis Colts and Daniel Jones. Because, the teams you should be blowing out, you are. The teams you're doing well against, you should be. And you are. And even the teams that we really doubted you on against the Los Angeles Rams, contextually, you should still be undefeated. So, I've been incredibly impressed. Shane Steichen and Daniel Jones have been a match made in heaven. This offensive line has been incredible. Jonathan Taylor has been absolutely phenomenal all year. The defense has had its moments. I want to see them a little bit better on the pass defense. Again, Jacoby Brissett caused a lot of trouble for you. But ultimately, this is the best team in the NFL. I don't care what people think. Oh, the Kansas City Chiefs, yeah, they're on a winning streak now. Mahomes threw 2 picks. Marcus Mariota airmailed a 4th down pass, and they were driving right down the field, and a ball knocked over Deebo Samuel's face mask and ended up in a Chiefs interception on the first drive of the game, where they were driving right down the field to potentially score a touchdown to go up 7-0. Again, context. Chiefs blew them out. It was tied at halftime. I mean, to be honest, the Giants' defense, if Russell Wilson was a little bit better in that game, the Giants' defense gave him fit. Do I fear the Chiefs? Yeah, because they have Patrick Mahomes. They're on a hot streak right now. Maybe it's a hot take. Maybe people will disagree, but this Colts team will cause the Chiefs some serious issues in 3 weeks, 4 weeks from now? 3 games from now? I mean, they're going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who right now are absolutely struggling in the passing in the pass defense game. What do you want me to do? They have allowed 300-plus passing yards in 3 of the last 4 games. Daniel Jones may put up a 300-yard game and a few touchdowns, along with Jonathan Taylor having like 99 yards and a touchdown or 2. I mean, this is what the offense is now. They're 3-point favorites. I jumped on that. Some people have them at 3.5. I mean, that's unfortunate. That one of my Harvey Hothand picks is Colts -3 at Steelers. We just saw the Steelers do nothing offensively. Their defense got cooked by Jordan Love late in the game. They couldn't do anything. Daniel Jones in this offense is on a hot streak. Here's the thing. I ripped on him so many years doing this show. We're moving on 4 years in a couple months from now. I've ripped on Daniel Jones all but this year, where I actually thought he had I had faith in him. Did I expect, MVP level of performance? No, I thought he'd be efficient. I thought I'd see an upgraded version of 2022. And that is the case, just, times 5. But yeah, incredible. All around. The offense was instrumental. The Shane Steichen, tremendous head coach. I never thought it was Shane Steichen because I saw what he did with Justin Herbert and I saw what he did with Jalen Hurts. He had a quarterback that couldn't complete a pass. And what I said my take was on Anthony Richardson is Shane Steichen could drop the most perfect play possible, the one-play touchdown, the best play of all time. Anthony Richardson just wouldn't get it to the guy. I mean, think about it too. Alec Pierce, Josh Downs, A.D. Mitchell when he's not, in the doghouse. Michael Pittman. They have dudes. They have a lot of guys. Tyler Warren, tight end. Mo Alley Cox has had a couple great catches. Amir Abdullah's had a couple great runs. Jonathan Taylor is an MVP candidate. They have a lot of guys offensively. This is an offensive juggernaut. And I think teams need to give him the respect. It's Daniel Jones. I know, it's weird. It's crazy. But the facts are the facts. Daniel Jones is playing at a top-tier level, and this offense is number 1 in the NFL. It's number 1 in NFL history on drives ending in a score. It is what it is. That's just the facts. That's just the data. Hi, everybody. Thank you for watching this clip of the Harvey Hour. If you want to watch the full show, you can by clicking the I in the top right-hand corner right now. If you want to take the show with you on the go, it is available wherever you get your podcast. We go live here on YouTube every single Tuesday and Friday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and the notification bell to get notified whenever we upload a video and whenever we go live.